The first news is man loses 392 pounds after seeing his obese reflection on TV screen. Sherry Samuels had always been of average weight as a child, but at 13 she was on her own after school. She gorged down chips, pretzels, and cookies. When I started weighing myself at 13, I never saw below 200, she said. I had unlimited access to anything I wanted. I no longer had parental control over my food. She used to hide food so her parents wouldn't find out how much she was eating, and in her senior year of high school, her weight peaked at 256 pounds. Michael Holcomb can probably relate. When he was 13 years old, he tipped the scale at nearly 500 pounds, and when he graduated, he gained another 100 pounds. I didn't do much, and what I did do was eat. So I played video games, I would watch TV, and I ate. And I was good at it, he said. But Samuel and Holcomb are no longer obese. Samuels and Holcomb are both featured in People magazine's special issue that focuses on people who lost about half their body weight. They both appear on Good Morning America to share their weight loss strategies. For Samuels, a graduate student and Zumba teacher from Federal Way, Washington, one of her lowest points was having to shop with her mother because at 17 she wouldn't wear what her friends were wearing. I had to shop at women's plus-size stores, she said. After her second attempt at weight loss, she had a breakthrough. I was sitting in a car with my mom crying. I felt like I had let my parents down. I had all these resources, 2 supportive parents, and I was just sabotaging myself, she said. That was the moment I said, I'm done. She worked with her husband, Andrew, to lose weight. She also adopted a vegan diet and always has healthy snacks available. Samuels, now 24, lost 121 pounds and now weighs 135. Her weight loss was so dramatic that she had loose skin removed. Her husband went from 310 to 217 pounds. For Holcomb, 26, the change began 5 years ago when he was involved in a minor car accident. It got him thinking about his own mortality. The next day, I lay down on my couch and a cable went out. The screen turned black and I was lying there without my shirt and I saw my stomach hanging over the side of the couch. And I broke down and I cried. And I promised myself I would change. And from that day onward, I have changed for the better, he said. When he decided to change his life, he weighed 607 pounds. He now weighs 230, which means he lost 392 pounds. Just how did he do it? He gave up fatty sandwiches for healthy salads and started walking. The Escondido, California man now works as a personal trainer. Next, Kerry. U.S. will support Iraq, but without troops. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said Sunday that the United States will support Iraq's fight against al-Qaeda-linked militants, who have overrun 2 cities, but won't send in American troops. Kerry said the militants are trying to destabilize the region and undermine a democratic process in Iraq, and that the U.S. is in contact with tribal leaders in Anbar province who are standing up to the terrorists. But, he said, this is a fight that belongs to the Iraqis. That is exactly what the President and the world decided some time ago when we left Iraq. So we are not obviously contemplating returning. We are not contemplating putting boots on the ground. This is their fight. We will help them in their fight, but this fight, in the end, they will have to win, and I am confident they can. Al-Qaeda-linked gunmen have largely taken over the cities of Fallujah and Ramadi in an uprising that has been a blow to the Shiite-led government of the Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. Bombings in Iraqi capital Baghdad killed at least 20 people Sunday. Anbar, a vast desert area on the borders with Syria and Jordan, was the heartland of Sunni insurgency that rose up against American troops and the Iraqi government after the 2003 U.S.-led invasion that toppled Saddam Hussein. In 2004, insurgents in Fallujah killed 4 American security contractors, hanging their burned bodies from a bridge. Ramadi and other cities have remained battlegrounds as sectarian bloodshed has mounted, with Shiite militias killing Sunnis. We are very, very concerned about the effort of Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State of Iraq in the Levant, which is affiliated with Al-Qaeda, who are trying to assert their authority not just in Iraq but in Syria, Kerry said. These are the most dangerous players in that region. Their barbarian against the civilians in Ramadi and Fallujah and against Iraqi security forces is on display for everyone in the world to see. Kerry made a comment as he left Jerusalem for talks with leaders in Jordan and Saudi Arabia about his Mid-East peacemaking effort after 3 days of lengthy meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Kerry said some progress was made in what he described as very serious, very intensive conversations, but key hurdles are yet to be overcome. His talks with Jordan's King Abdullah II and Foreign Minister Nasser Judeh covered the peace process, Syria and Iraq. After his short stay in Amman, Kerry flew to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and then took a 30-minute helicopter ride to King Abdullah's Desert Palace. The Saudi leader developed an initiative in 2002 in which the Arab world offered comprehensive peace with Israel in exchange for a full pull-out from all terrorists it captured in the 1967 Mideast War. The initiative, revolutionary when it was introduced, has been endorsed by the Arab League and technically remains in effect. Saudi Arabia's initiative holds out the prospect that if the parties could arrive at a peaceful resolution, you could instantaneously have peace between the 22 Arab nations and 35 Muslim nations, all of whom have said they will recognize Israel if peace is achieved, Kerry said. Imagine how that changes the dynamics of travel, of business, of education, of opportunity in this region, of stability. Imagine what peace could mean for trade and tourism, what it could mean for developing technology and talent, for job opportunities for the younger generation, for generations in all of these countries, Kerry said. Kerry, who arrived in region Thursday, is trying to nudge Abbas and Netanyahu closer to a peace pact that would establish a Palestinian state alongside Israel. The talks have entered an intense phase aimed at getting the two sides to agree on a framework and provide guidance toward a final settlement. Reaching a deal on the framework is not expected on this trip. Kerry tends to the region for peace talks. On another issue rolling the Middle East, Kerry did not dismiss the idea that Iran could play a constructive role in finding a resolution to the civil war in Syria, even if Tehran is not a full participant in a conference on Syria this month in Switzerland. The U.S. has objected to Iran's participation because it hasn't publicly endorsed the principles from an earlier peace conference that called for a transitional government in Syria and is backing militias, including the Iranian allied Lebanese Hezbollah group that has added the troops of Syrian President Bashar Assad. If Iran doesn't support that, it's difficult to see how they are going to be a ministerial partner in the process, Kerry said. Now, could they contribute from the sidelines? Are they always for them conceivably to weigh in? It may be that there are ways that they could happen, Kerry said. Next, car in worker crash may have been going 100 miles per hour. The Porsche carrying Fast and Furious star Paul Walker may have been going 100 miles per hour or more before it crashed, killing both Walker and the driver, according to a coroner's report released Friday. Investigators found no mechanical problems with the 2005 Porsche Carrera GT or debris or other problems on the roadway. The street forms an approximately 1-mile loop amid industrial office parks and is rimmed by hills and isolated from traffic, especially on weekends. The down-light pole the car hit had speed limit sign of 45 miles per hour. The area in Santa Clarita is about 30 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles. Roger Rodas, Walker's friend and financial advisor, was driving the Porsche at an unsafe speed, and witnesses interviewed by deputies estimated it was going 100 miles per hour or more. No alcohol or drugs were detected in the system of either man on the day of the Fury one-car crash. The November 13th deaths were ruled accident and were due to combined traumatic and thermal injuries, the report said. It said both men were burned over 100% of their bodies. Rodas had first-degree burns on his head and neck and severe skull fractures, the report said. Walker had broken bones throughout his body, including his jaw, arm, ribs, and pelvis, it said. The car slammed into a tree and a light pole on the driver's side, then after spinning, hit a second tree on Walker's side of the car and caught fire. The report says the red Porsche was traveling at an unsafe speed, approximately 100 plus miles per hour, according to a deputy who took testimony from witnesses at the scene. For unknown reasons, the driver lost control of his vehicle, the report says. The sheriff's department had previously cited speed as a factor in the crash, but had released no estimate of how fast the Porsche was going. Sheriff's investigators are working with Porsche officials and the California Highway Patrol to determine the speed more exactly. 3 data recorders survived the crash and fire and may produce information to pinpoint the speed. Rodas, 38, and Walker, 40, co-owned an auto racing team. Rodas also was a professional driver who competed in 10 Pirelli World Challenge GTS races last year. The accident occurred while Walker was on a break after shooting about half of Fast and Furious 7, whose release Universal Pictures has now delayed for almost a year to April 2015. Walker still will appear in the film, though Universal has not said exactly how they would handle this unfinished performance. Also Friday, 2 men pleaded not guilty to stealing a roof panel of the wrecked Porsche from the tow truck, removing it from the accident scene. Anthony Edwards Jano, 25, and James Brooks Whitty, 18, were each charged with felony counts of grand theft and misdemeanor count of destroying evidence and resisting or obstructing a peace officer. They are due to return to court February 25th.